a little bit of the Audio 110 plan. Just kind of the way the assignments work, the way that it's set up. For the most part, a lot of the traditional stuff is there. So you have your syllabus and the rubrics that go along with the weekly projects. But a couple things that are a little different. Well, first of all, in your day to day, you're going to be working with them through their lectures, and while you're working on their lectures and with them in their lectures, I feel like it's best to have your DAW open so you can actually show them as you're working through some of these things. Like, it's not just simple slides. It is real life scenarios that we use while we're in the studio. So, try to spend your time on the concepts and don't feel like you have to hurry. You want to make sure that you're landing these things in foundationally well with them so that they can move forward. But there's two sets of assignments. Assignment type 1 is a discussion and response, but it's a group discussion, something that's actually going to take place live in class as a conversation piece. So, for each one of these, there are questions. Like today, because we're talking about compression, rarefaction, we're talking about mediums that air molecules move through. We have the conversation about what's the deal with the sound in space. And this can lead you to further conversations about even just atmospheric differences, in how sound reacts in different places, whether you're on top of a mountain or, you're down by the beach, just kind of those things that really do involve molecular change in how the sound waves propagate. And so as you're having these conversations, the goal is to have the students state their positions and support their positions, citing information that was presented in today's class or in today's slides. And they actually have to submit an actual response to that. So that's assignment 1. And they'll do that kind of stuff every day, But the next one is something that if you get into it in class, great. And otherwise, it's going to be set up as homework that they should be doing. Or maybe they don't really get to do this piece of it altogether. So right now, just because we're just kicking this off, I'm kind of working out the best means to get this set up. But right now, what's happening is there are questions in the second assignment of each day that ask specific questions about a session that they're going to see. In the future, this is a session that they'll actually begin to download. So on a daily basis, they'll have an actual session they can open up in Pro Tools and work through and ask and think about questions and answer these questions from that session. For right now, though, just because we're trying to get a sense of even just who has their stuff, who won't in that first week, what I've done is I put it on the main tab so it's stuck to the top of it's pinned to the top of the course. It says audio immersion assignment videos and files. Eventually this will have files when we feel like they're ready to start downloading them. As of right now, it's just it's an external web page with video content. And right now it only has the first week loaded. I'll end up loading the second week as I get to that, because I'm still working on just, building those videos effectively. But you just have the students are going to jump in, they're going to play the video, and then they're going to go answer the questions that go along with that video. So, they're going to get an opportunity to answer those. So, like, in this one,
a highlighted length of 1 second. I'm just going to type in 0, 1. And what it's going to do is it's going to highlight a 1 second section. So notice how many waves are there, how many cycles per second. I have students that but they sum up to look like this.
So anyway, these sessions again are designed so that they will watch the session, review the session, take notes on it if they have to, and then they'll go and answer the questions to that particular assignment. So like that week 1, day 1 assignment under homework will ask about that particular session. They need to respond to it by what they could do is they can either just submit it as text or they can submit it as a file if they need to. But basically, they're going to respond to these questions and send them back with open response, thoughts about what's happening with those samples. I would also say early on, especially during the first week, it would be great for us to daily like check on them as they're, you did your homework last night, let's talk about it. Or if we do get time in class to get through it, then we will. Then, having those conversations about how it's going and how they're understanding it or digesting it. Eventually, when they have Pro Tools in their system, those will be Pro Tools files that they get to open up and really poke around and move around and deep dive and spend more time answering the questions, because they can specifically attack certain things that that they want to take more time with. But for the most part, that's it. This first week should obviously be very simple. But as it keeps going, we'll keep moving with it. Now, some of the assignments then jump to some things that they will need to do in the DAW, some basic stuff in the DAW. So what I'm also going to have to do, just because of the way this is getting set up, is I will supply some basic, quick start videos for that. And then we go into file management. It's like, I think, within the first couple weeks. So in the lab stuff that they're doing for homework, they are going to be learning about the file hierarchy and how they should be managing files when they're using it. But it's definitely a work in progress. Message me with any questions, and if we need to get on the phone tomorrow or before class, whenever is great.